Hey guys, this is Antoine from Katapult.Marketing. So I just got back from Social Media Marketing World 2018 edition. I got my little guide, which was actually an improvement from what we got last year. And in this video, I am going to tell you the key takeaways and the cool people I got to meet. Let's go. So this is my second time going to Social Media Marketing World. I went last year, and last year I went alone, but this year I took Pinky with me, and this was really cool because I got to go in some sessions and she went in other sessions, and then we met in the middle, and then we talked about what did you learn and everything. So that was really cool to being able to have Pinky with me. You know, the only thing going to Social Media Marketing World when you coming from Florida, it's just a long trip. So we actually connected in Charlotte and then flew across, and then you arrive there like 8, 9 o'clock. It's nighttime and you're exhausted and it's 3-hour jet lag and you're all messed up, but it's really worth it because you get to meet with thousands of your closest friends and just get to learn a whole bunch of stuff. Like last year, it was held at the San Diego Convention Center, and they really do an excellent job in terms of organization. I mean, as soon as you get there, there's people greeting you, they give you a badge, it's organized. The guy that was there at the counter was super helpful. He gave me a little book, he gave me a little, you know, the badge, everything. It's just really well organized, and I go to a lot of conferences throughout the year, and I've gone through a lot of conferences in my life, and I can tell you that they really do a top-notch job, so it's really cool to get to see that. And all their staff is super friendly. Everybody looks like they're happy to see you, so that just makes you know, just a much better experience overall. So on day one, they open up the conference with music. That's what they do every year, which is kind of fun. And then the CEO, Michael Stelzer, I think I say his name properly, Michael Stelzer. Let me look it up. Okay. So I just look it up. It's Michael Stelzner. I don't know why I never get his name right. Michael Stelzner. And then when I looked it up, there's another guy that's actually really famous with Michael Stelzner, but it's Michael Stelzner. In any case, what Michael opened up the conference with was a State of the Union and brought it right to Facebook and the change in the algorithms and how that really turned our world upside down for all the marketers out there. And what was interesting was that last year in his keynote, he was talking about Facebook and the changes in the organic reach for pages, and now it's just another apocalyptic thing that's happening. In other words, unless your content is engaging and gets people to actually communicate with one another, and that it involves comments and really engagement, then you're just not going to see the light of day on Facebook. So it was really interesting, and you know, I was left with, oh my God, like what do we do now? What does that mean for all my clients? Like, how do we leverage Facebook to make it work for them? Because the way we've been doing it is not going to work anymore. So the good thing is that Pinky and I went to all the sessions and we made some good notes. So we're going to talk about that. So in any case, Michael Stelzner session was really eye-opening. It was a great way to start the day. So one of the things that is really cool with Social Media Marketing World is that I get to meet people that I follow on YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot, influencers, people that are up to something in social media, and people that I listen to in trying to figure out what do we need to do with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and whatnot. So it's really cool. I get to connect with all of them, and I connect with all friends and as well. One of the first person I saw, was interestingly enough too, was the first session was Daryl Eves. Daryl Eves has a huge YouTube channel where he teaches people how to use YouTube, how to make videos for YouTube, how to YouTube everything. Great session. And if I remember well, Daryl said that he has brought over 9 channels, over 1 million subscribers. So the guy knows what he's talking about. I met him outside, super approachable. We chatted for 5 minutes. I was there with Owen's videos, and I took a picture with him too. It was really cool. So the takeaway from Daryl Eves was as follows. So what Daryl Eves talked about, and these are my notes, by the way. I took all kinds of notes. Old school, put it not on a laptop, but on a pad of paper. This is how I actually gather my information. The questions that he asks us to ask ourselves: how will this content be found? How does my content on YouTube be found? How will my content help cut through the noise? There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of content on everything, on Facebook, YouTube, and whatnot. How will your content, my content, help cut through the noise? What's different? What's unique? And what are people looking for right now? Yeah, during one of the lunch break, I got to connect with Yigal. And I got to meet him in person too. He's a really cool guy. I knew about him from Heroic Public Speaking, which is where I met him for the first time in Fort Lauderdale about a couple of years ago. I think towards the end of 2016, so a year and a half ago. I also got to reconnect with Melanie Diesel. Unfortunately, I couldn't sit through her breakout. One of the things with social media marketing world is, and actually I'm going to count, let me just count how many sessions there is concurrently at the same time. That's Thursday, right? Thursday. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So on Thursday at 10:30 a.m., there was 13 sessions to choose from. And you just about want to attend every single one of them. In my case, it was systematically, there was 3 or 4 sessions that were a must listen to. And I had to pick one. Not cool. The cool thing is they're recording everything. And they're giving you the slides and the audio. So even if you can sit through it, I made a note of everything I want to listen to. So I did 1 live and I'll do 2 or 3 listening for each hour of the thing. Each session was about 45 minutes, which I thought was a little bit tight on time. And then I got to meet the third brother of Dumb and Dumber. No, I'm kidding. So I got to meet a guy that was really interesting, and the guy had a full tail yellow suit with a hat, and it says, dude, I have to take a picture of you. You're like the lost brothers of Dumb and Dumber, and we had a good laugh with this. One of the cool person I got to meet was Steve Dotto. I love Steve Dotto. I've been following him probably for 2 to 3 years right now, and all of you should know about Steve Dotto because Steve Dotto explains everything tech. If you have a question about tech, go to his channel on YouTube. He probably has a video about it. So if you want to know what is the best meeting or events software to use, Steve has done a video. He's from Canada, so he speaks funny. But he's really a cool guy, and I got to talk with him. We talked a little bit politics. I'm not going to tell you what we said, but we did talk politics, and it was really cool to meet him in person. On Thursday afternoon, I went and sat through Amy Landino's session. Another amazing speaker. I did not know Amy. And I could see from her YouTube channel that I'm not her demographic. 50-year-old bald man is not what she goes after. But I could definitely tell that this is a talented young lady, and I hope I get to meet her in person someday. Her session was vlogging secrets from the best storytellers. She had the 5 secrets that we should all know. My key takeaway from Amy Landino, which was really interesting, is to use the comments of the people on your YouTube channel, wherever they put the comment, whether it's on Facebook and Instagram, and create a video about it. Like people have a question or a concern, and then you use that to create a piece of content. Now on Friday, the next day, I went and sat through Marcus Sheridan. Now I knew of Marcus Sheridan because of Heroic Public Speaking, and I saw him in Philadelphia delivering a presentation, but I didn't see him in Philadelphia in his full mode. I did just, it was just all of us public speakers. We were in a room and whatnot. But this time, I got to see him delivering his keynote in front of, I don't know how many people were in the room, 300-400 people, and he was fire. He was, for me, out of the entire, the 2 days that I was there, the best speaker. No, I didn't get to see everybody. I know I didn't get to go and see Brian Fenzo, and if I had seen Brian Fenzo, considering the number of comments, the number of good stuff that they say about Brian Fenzo, I may have said, okay, Brian Fenzo, Marcus Sheridan, they're the same, but I only saw Marcus, and Marcus was fire. He was really awesome. So the key takeaway from Marcus, from my notes, he talked about, all the contents that you should have. So the name of his session was, how do you define sexy content? And I just like, oh, Marcus, choose a title here, just shows the word sexy. There was nothing sexy in anything that he said, but I thought it was a great use of a title for a session. Of course, I got to meet the world famous George Thomas. Now, George and I created a video for Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah, we created a video. George and I created a video for Gary Vaynerchuk because we both saw Gary Vaynerchuk for the first time in 2012 at Inbound in Boston, and we were sitting in the exact same session. I told him, yeah, when I saw Gary, I was upstairs on the right side. And it was like, I was upstairs on the right side. I'm like, were you serious? You were in the front? He says, yeah, I was in the front. I was like, we had to be sitting like, we're in 10 feet away of each other. And we remember specifically that Gary Vaynerchuk pointed to us and say, you guys upstairs, up top and everything. And at that moment, I was absolutely and utterly convinced, there's a matter of fact, it's the truth, that Gary Vaynerchuk was talking to me. And George Thomas had the insolence, the audacity to think that Gary Vaynerchuk was talking to him. How wrong. So we created a video. I'm going to send it to Gary Vaynerchuk, and I'm going to have, please Gary, settle this for us. Were you talking to George Thomas? Were you talking to me? Then on Friday morning after Marcus Sheridan, I went and sat through Steve Dotto's session, which was about how to make money on YouTube. It was really cool because he was candid and he literally told us how much money he makes on his YouTube channel, which I'm not going to tell you that. You got to go and see Steve Dotto and you listen to his session and whatnot. Another person that I got to meet actually in person is Mark Schaefer with the book Known, and he actually gave me an autograph picture of his book. It was really cool. I didn't get to sat through his session because, again, there was the conflict of multiple sessions, and I have read his book, and so I knew in essence the content, and there was another session that I really wanted to sit through, but it was really cool to get to meet him in person. Very cool, very approachable. This is a great book, by the way. If you haven't read this book, I would read this book. Anything related to social media, anyone that's in the social media world should read this book. Okay, so that's a wrap. That was my adventure at Social Media Marketing World Edition 2018. They made an offer we couldn't refuse to book our ticket for 2019. You had to get your ticket before the end of the day on Friday, I believe, at midnight. And it was a super low price. I mean, it's like less than half of the full price, and I already bought it. So I am going to Social Media Marketing World 2019. I'm super looking forward to it. And my next gig is going to be, I'm actually speaking at Explore Convention, XPLOR convention in Orlando. And on that note, see you later.